Say we the biscuit ne toffee ne sa ne manema no ba me hu no enema ehu hia pa me hia so wom. Oh million anope be twati so ho million ne niam bebre.
4 years of a good leader will make more impact than 8 years of a dishonest leader. It's not about how long you serve, it is about how well you serve. Apart from that, changing term of office of members of parliament, say, encore 5 years. President, encore 5 years. President, encore 5 years. Members of parliament, 5 years. District chief executives, 5 years. Assembly members, 5 years. Until you change term of office, no? Because if you say, Osha Ghana, you need Nigeria, and Africa, you need Nigeria, and 4 years. Now, Osha 4 years on so it's answer now, your government, no be sure, say, you Jumana, Obeshana, Abato Bredru. And Osha Africa, you know. Amaimu bebre 5 years, 5 years. Inti pese Ghana so 5 years.
Etiabusia me no kasa de Ghana rehosem NSC ewo Accra. The whole command nyina ye nation capital Accra na wo hono. Nsu atumi atwa fankran nyina so. Mahama or the plane am wiem na wo hwede yekoso. It tells you baby your leaders no adwene abidu. Rehosem na si nsu na tumi ayira ma chese Chinese malls ni nyina no nsu afom ne ma nyina. Nampania ka se obi aponche awu no obi nkwam so ayhwam Ghana fo no bone yeyete hwe ne ma amnante agina wo kire nsu agira fankran nyina wo ayawra husem e kire wo se we enam wo hu hawa ye hu ofin sitie he Ghana fo ye hu ofin aswe te say capital pa no ye hu ofin ma yetim nye de we are so dirty because Fl00ding si wiase ba bia America kura Fl00ding Oko Florida wa wo mutimi nya wohwe Dubai enso atimi yiri fakron but eniem be pie enso nani no ene be justification now o hwese de enkanase ye dirty how Accra is so dirty so filthy because of their bad attitude Christopher nin kramofo kro enna Yesu enna Allah ye so dirty ho to 5 times a day look at this shadiet niamate ye hu ofin yet ude hwade o se trash efin yesika ewiase recycling yesika ye nkrofo ye nya sika nya so look at the whole capital John Mahama shame on you John Mahama shame on you enne akogina parliament say yamao 5 years Ghana for politicians leaders na obi anju 5 years not 4 years. Who opposition? Mahama ka kire say uhia 4 years na dey develop Ghana. How do you know church? It tells you our mental faculty said you see in strength city. Yanima gu ase. E kire say we are so dirty. Especially on mind to say your capital town say Accra. Look at the filthiness. If you idea a daring cranfo hwade and craman no look at that. The whole capital your our hosem any probably brewu and so as usual 1 week obi ayere we fi sanity we would dey hear say oba bi ni bema mi nkodas a sex tape we emra bonten eno anom yere fi. This is how Ghanaians think now. John Mahama so afa wi made ade a wo mu a nsuo to na obi niam say hwede yakoso
say we the biscuit ne toffee ne sa ne manema no ba me hu no enema ehu hia pa me hia so wom. Oh million anope be twati so ho million ni niam bebre so ajase toilet rolls ni ehu niam bebre enema ni bebre mitime mbobọ okay me menya adwuma so ajase ba menya news no TikTok and I'm so no ma rational me so metie ya and I'm so me rational me hwe so ajase yeah actually me akasa this is the time I say me fa introduce me hu ye ye frame me Kiudi me artist me a musician underground artist until one time me nwum no akwa kotie oga ajim Kiudi
ma me cheche ma adwen company is here China for me say mani ate amani nti here ente nyame amanso na to no uko ejuma na ma 500 cedi a month 400 cedi e bet of your problem ya wo no so ya wo emi ma wo 3 2 amade den kwala na hwe mba no emi mu go school Yeah, go school. 500 8 months of your problem. 8 minutes of your problem. Et na ebono wa so na tono. Ebono wa ka yante. Ani enne na de na ma no. Biscuit no. Me go be school no. Biscuit nti. Me se me go school de. Ochina, me se biscuit. Me ko che mo go school money na ma che ma dwen. Enda maka na sese ma ko.
Eso che me you went. Me na ka. Awa batende sanya ya me ko.
Share video ni din woni nkoso me kire wade bi.
Hwɛ akɔkora yi alajo polo junction si oto bola botto enu abehwegu gata ni mu no.
Me ba be kire live video of how exactly a flooding no eba. So nipa dasani ye na adwen so the ball abegu gata mu a hwade.
Yenhwe ekwan a flooding fa so banie. Enti wo hwɛ video a yem pick lesson bi ewo this video ayeden etwagu ensuo to na nsuo no toye no look at how a enwura rubber efi enam swimming. This is how a flooding efa so ba hwe amnaya nsuo yi edru hu na nka betumi akọ because nsuo no no so a enko, but look at how a ebesi ebu afa so so wahu say ebu afa so enti drains and yes, drains in the system and drains wom all right, but a feeling tino emu besi hwe wahu senia ebu afaso enti enya akwan kakra forso ya enwura no tumi wura mu a ekoye no wahu say enso asan bafom enti nso we na beko, but definitely edi enso yiri be den ebeba anase ebebu afaso akọ amanfo adem se wo hwe senia Accra ayeya because of the population intino ama enwura rubber enuoma fi adoso ensuo to na yedigum se yebo aban so bo a baby aban te no ensuyiri enkoka no so enti ye ankasa na ye affected. There are some videos bi me hu ya enipa no beye ayini no omda so 2 days 3 days ensuo after say ensuo to ye no entumi enweye omotete abontin omaye stranded adeba ko eya owiase pa ne se wodam nsuo beto na wuntumi nya de enda okai ompa papa bi so now so look at how etie hwe so let us clean our environment.
We just finished an aerial tour of Accra to inspect the flooded areas. Unfortunately, the flooding has been very extensive today for several reasons. One, the recorded rainfall today is one of the highest in several years. The Meteo are looking at approximately 140 millimeters that was dumped on Accra. Last year, the maximum rainfall was 56 on a single day. And so the volumes are much higher. And so there are many issues to the flooding in Accra. There's climate. If you look at the rainfall pattern from 2024, 2025, 2026, you see that increasingly every year we're getting more rain in Accra than we used to get. GMET say that in 2024, for a period of 30 days in June, we had 85 millimeters of rain. And then in 2025, it increased to 172. and then in 2026 for the same 30-day period in June, it increased to 333. And so the waterways are not getting chance to recover before more rain is dumped. And the wet days are more. Out of 30 days, 22 days, it kept raining. And so there were only 7 dry days or 8 dry days in June. And so that's the climate side. That is an act of God that we can't control. But then there's also the engineering and the man-made causes. That is, like I said before, Accra is built between 2 natural bodies, the Kwapim Mountain Range and the Atlantic Ocean. And before Accra was built, the streams used to flow through this plain to reach the sea. Now, the British brought the capital to Accra, and in those years it was not a problem because Accra was a very small city. But as the population continues to increase and people continue to build, it restricts the path of the streams on their way to the Atlantic. So that's an engineering problem. We need to see how to open the channel so that the water can pass. But then there's also the other aspect, which is attitudinal and human behavior. That is dumping garbage in the drains, putting all kinds of items in the drains after we finish creating waste. Instead of sending it to the appropriate place, even in the air, we discovered many illicit dumping sites where the wetlands are. People have gone to create a waste dumping ground, and they charge 20 cedis for the aboboya to come and fill the waste into the wetlands. And when it has filled sufficiently, they sell the land to people to come and build on it. And so we need to, one, look at it from an engineering perspective in terms of how we can open up the channels, but at the same time, look at how we can identify all the buildings that are obstructing the waterways. We've said this many times. I'm tired of hearing it. But anytime you begin to take action and you start breaking houses, people think that government is inhumane. But when the problem arises like this flood, it affects everybody. And so all of us have been affected because of the conduct of a few people blocking the channels and preventing the water from passing. And so we'll call a National Security Council meeting. We're asking every district to identify, together with the Works and Housing Ministry, where the blockages in the channels are as they pass through the district assemblies, so that we can earmark those places for removal. We'll not only break the houses, we have to move the rubble out of the way, because there's no use breaking a house and leaving the rubble in the waterway. It's just the same as leaving the house. And so it's going to be quite a major issue in order to resolve the problem of Accra. But ultimately, the other solution will be to decongest Accra. And that's why we're planning that we move some of the city out, that is the major government departments, and then also create a new center of growth so that our people will start building outside Accra in a new city, instead of everybody looking for some space in Accra to build. So, but that's a long-term solution. Like I said, it's a 20-year project. They are still working on the designs. Once they do that, we'll demarcate. People can start buying plots. If they like, they can start building houses. We'll do the roads, bring the water and electricity, so that it eases the pressure on Accra as a city. But I just want to express my sympathy with people who have lost property. Loss of property has been very extensive, and I want to thank the military, NADMO, the police, and the Hydro, Works and Housing Ministry, and all the emergency response team, 48th Engineers Regiment, for the rescue that they did. I've seen many of the videos where people had to be carried out of their houses. They deployed their boats, and they helped to save quite a lot of lives. NADMO will do what it can to try and identify the victims and see how we can just support them in a way in the next few days. I've asked the Minister of Finance to release some money from the contingency fund so that we can do some post-flood relief for persons who have been affected. And so let me again express my sympathy, but let us change our attitude and let us find a permanent solution to this Accra flooding problem. We shouldn't become like the vulture who, anytime it is raining, he says as soon as it stops raining, he will repair his roof. And then as soon as it stops raining, he says, oh, it has stopped raining, so there's...
And then a month 50 Ghana. What about 5 years? And then in the check. What 5 years?
This thing go TikTok already. You know, say I'm listening. Go TikTok.
Oh, find your name there.
For a higher child, bush road, ICG's coin. For one, you see a tour and okay, your next Sunday and okay, and it's a high use and we're crouching, and soon crouching. Now, bridge can see that has seen. I don't know if Muhu bottles, bola, and see how we saying so I thought it was for. Na year 2 ball lagoon. What are we seeking to achieve? Hey, I didn't pan into year sheshe. Accra dear asem new planning. Yes, mom brought to your aid. Why? Mom brought to your aid. Yes, a bridge be crowned for prayer. There's a bridge just behind these houses. Ebu amana fi so no. Baby a papa ejina black gate no enso ni fi ho ba say bebre so ni fi ho ba bebre mo amo hwe obi ka na akoko choki no. Oh, God have mercy.